Warmer weather has arrived in Kansas, and producers are anxious to get back in the fields. Top dressing of the wheat crop will be a priority, but the amount of fertilizer to apply could come into question with wheat fields that are following an above-average corn crop.
This year's corn crop was tremendous. We had a lot of 180 to 200 bushel corn in this part of the world. And when you plant wheat back on those corn stalks can tie up a lot of nitrogen due to the residue breaking down there. And so we need to increase the amount of nitrogen we apply when we have wheat growing on corn stalks by about 30 pounds per acre or so.
Another challenge for wheat in this region was that fall planting was notably delayed.
Winter months were wet. That's the reason why late planting date. Harvest took a little while longer than expected. We didn't finish cutting beans till the middle of November, and trying to get the wheat in was a short window, and we managed to get a little in, and that's all we can do.
Now that wheat has hit the growing season, the stage of the crop and stand count are key factors in setting fertilizer rates.
When we apply fertilizer for this first pass to the wheat crop, what we really need to evaluate is the number of tillers we have in a running foot of row or in a square yard. And when we do those counts, we can better determine how much nitrogen fertilizer we need to apply right now versus how much we can save until later after jointing.
We assess fertilizer application by the stage of what wheat is in. This year, wheat's behind. We're going to put on our first application of fertilizer the second week of March. And we're planning on putting an additional application of fertilizer right after joining. Normally, on most years, we do a split application on the fertilizer, one now and then one later with probably a herbicide and an insecticide.
That split application helps to reduce stress on the plant, but evaluating the crop will help determine nitrogen needs.
When I evaluate stand count, I basically count the number of plants in a running foot of row, and then I convert that into number of heads per square yard. And so you do that, and we want to shoot between 500 and 600 heads per square yard in this part of the world. So we're looking for about 40 tillers in one running foot of row on 7.5-inch rows. Today, if we're less than that, we need to increase our nitrogen rate to 60 or 70 units right now. The best way to understand if you need more fertilizer or less is to evaluate those tiller counts. So count the number of plants in a running foot and evaluate that on a number of heads per square yard basis, and then you can evaluate how much nitrogen to apply.
Fertilizer application will be one of the main activities for wheat growers in the near term, with the hope of boosting a rather late planted crop. Reporting from wheat fields near Lewisburg, Kansas, I'm Janelle Ost for This Week in Agribusiness.